Okay, this is Michelle Kay here, Life in Los Altos, and I have Donald Wagoner, who is my neighbor. We've been neighbors for the past 22 years. He's my favorite neighbor. But I remember, Don, you said so long ago, I remember you saying, I was so young when that earthquake hit, but I still remember it. And
And I
that's
do.
and that's why I'm here. That to if you could tell us your memories of the quake and afterwards, that'd be really nice of you.
Yeah, those memories are fairly fresh because of the nature of the quake. It was a very damaging quake. I don't remember the Richter rating. It was 6 point
Yeah.
something, 8 or 9 maybe.
Yeah, it's one of those things I have to
Uh,
look up at now that I've done
but
all this
it created
talking.
a lot of damage in Long Beach at the time. We lived in North Long Beach. Uh, I was about 7 and playing in the backyard with my brother who was 5. And we were running around and did not notice the first tremors. And a couple of ladies that lived next door came out of the house kind of hurriedly, down off the porch and ran around to the house, up against the wall, put their palms against the wall, and leaned like they were trying to push the house.
Oh my goodness.
This was very strange to my brother and I, so we stopped, and about that time we could begin to feel the tremors. We stopped running, in other words.
Yeah.
And when about that time a more significant tremor hit, and it frightened us, and we ran for the house and mother.
Mhm.
And as we went in through the back door, the kitchen cupboard doors were swinging. The harder part of the shake was hitting right then.
Yeah.
And as the doors swung open, crockery and glassware would crash out on the sink and the floor. And then the doors would swing back shut, and another shake would come, and open they'd come again, and more crockery. And about that time, my mother rushed into the kitchen from the front of the house and shooed us out in the backyard,
Yeah.
where we stayed until Dad came home.
Yeah.
It was mid-afternoon when he got home. He was a barber and had a shop in downtown Long Beach at the time. And when the quake hit there, which was more or less the center of most damage, if not the epicenter of the quake,
Mm.
the building that he was in did suffer damage. Bricks from the roof came down. A few bricks would be tumbled off. One fellow ran out the back door and was hit with a falling brick, and he was killed.
Oh, really?
If I know Dad, he probably scraped and cleaned out the till before he left the shop, and locked it when he left, and went about a half block down the street to where there was a large Protestant church, Presbyterian, I think, on the corner, where he had parked his little Ford coupe, Ford Roadster actually, diagonal. There was diagonal parking in those days, so that the car was half facing the curb.
Right.
On top of that church over the entrance were 2 large concrete balls that weighed a couple 100 pounds apiece. And at least one of those balls came off and bounced on the porch of the church, down the steps, and bounced across the driveway or the sidewalk, and landed between the bumper and the radiator of Dad's little coupe.
Oh my goodness.
But it was a fortunate thing, because when he got to the car and saw it, he just stepped up on that concrete ball and it dropped right on through onto the street, and away he came home. But when he got home and realized the damage, and aftershocks were still rolling, and aftershocks rolled well into the night to where we didn't want to go in the house even.
Yeah.
Dad managed to put up a tent, and we cooked dinner outdoors over an open fire, and we slept in that tent for several days. We actually lived outdoors for almost 2 weeks in the tent.
Mm.
And occasionally, later on, after a few days, we would go in the house,
Mm.
and Mom would cook a meal, and sometimes we'd sit in the house, and sometimes we'd go out to eat the meal.
Yeah.
An uncle and an aunt and a cousin, young cousin, who lived closer in downtown Long Beach, had come out the first night, and they stayed with us in the tent for 2 or 3 days before they went back to their home in Long Beach.
Mm.
So that was about the extent of the memories, other than much that I had read, and did observe on one trip downtown that there was damage in certain areas to buildings that was somewhat reminiscent to pictures of damage that you see in cities that have been struck by wartime assault.
Yeah.
Really, I guess that's about all.
All right, all right. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, again, you're young. There's a pretty vivid memories, and so obviously, just quite an experience that everybody went through in 1933. So it is the 80th anniversary, and I thank you for sharing your memories with me.
Speak up just.
I said thank you for sharing your memories with me.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
I do have trouble with sweet little ladies with soft voices
Thanks, Don.
or high-pitched voices.